What's up with chicken and cheese, everybody? What's up with chicken and cheese, everybody? Welcome to another video. And today, if you couldn't guess by the title of this video, we are doing the Airbnb rant. Now, for those of you who don't know what Airbnb is, it is a somewhat similar to a hotel company, like Trivago or those sort of things, where you rent a hotel off their site, and they basically they give you a hotel for the best price. Except what Airbnb does is they do a whole different thing where instead of giving you hotels and that sort of stuff, and renting out hotels and that sort of thing, they actually make you buy houses. So what I mean by houses is like you literally go to their site and you do all the stuff, and then you go to the state you want to, or city or state, country, whatever you want to do. You go to that country and you go and you basically just rent a house for however long you're gonna stay, and that's it. That's the whole gist of it. So you don't look like a tourist, or you just basically you do what you're gonna do at home in a foreign country or wherever you're going. So today we're gonna go ahead and do a rant on that and break down why that is so stupid and why it's such a weird idea, and how I don't understand how people can go for that. And I haven't done very much research on this. I do know I'm doing all my ranting solely based upon their marketing schemes and what I know about traveling and all sorts of stuff like that. So basically my personal experiences and what they have marketed to people, instead of like going to their website, because I mean that's what your first impressions are going to be most of the time. If you're going to go and you're going to do like go get something, usually you hear it off of an ad or something like that. So most of the time I'm just doing it off their marketing schemes. So that's how I'm going to keep myself from being biased. I won't go to their sites, and I won't go to other people's sites. I'm just going to do it solely off their marketing schemes and what I personally believe. So let's go ahead, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so for point number one, we got the whole, like the actual thought of buying a home in a foreign country is one of the weirdest, stupidest things like you could ever understand. Because, I mean, think about it. You're going on a vacation, right? So let's say, yeah, you're going on a vacation and you want to, let's say you're going to, I don't know, Rome. So you're going to Rome and you want to go vacation there for 2 days. And so you go to this new site, Airbnb. Okay, you give it a try, and then you look at it, and there it is. A house that you can rent, or a castle, or whatever. Because in their marketing, what they like to say is they're like, rent anything, a house, or even a castle. And you have to remember that these people are saying, do what you do in your normal life. I don't think I own a castle. I'm not sure that most people own a castle in their normal life. Just saying. So yeah, it says, it's like, so you go and you rent your castle, and then you go there for 2 days. So now you gotta worry about the price. And from what I know from houses, that they don't go for cheap. You don't just get to rent out a house for 2 days for almost no charge. At that point, I mean, it's just better to go and rent out a hotel, You might as well just rent a room in a hotel for 2 days. As a matter of fact, I mean, isn't that what most people do anyway? What's the point in buying a huge castle, which I'm sure does not, like, I'm pretty sure a room in a hotel is going to cost way less than actually owning a castle for 2 days. Like, that doesn't equate to anything. And I guess, yeah, the whole novelty of actually living in something special while you're there, but, I mean, come on. It wants you to do what you do at home, but if you don't go, and you don't go back to home, like, after a day's of work, you don't go back and live in a castle and, like, rest in a huge two king-size beds put together, then there's no way then you're gonna be you're gonna feel at home with that, because it's not what you're used to. And then in all of their marketing, like their commercials and such, they use tiny little box apartments and that sort of stuff. They use stuff that normal people would have in those countries, which is weird considering that they allow you to also use castles and that sort of stuff. So yeah, their marketing is a little off from what their actual design, or what they market in. Their video marketing is different from their audio, because if you listen to stuff like ads on, say, Spotify or YouTube, so on YouTube, yeah, they show you all the visual stuff is tiny little apartments with adorable nuclear families or whatever, people coming over, all having a good time. But in the audio, it's totally different. They tell you that you can rent out houses and cook and all that sort of stuff, but you can also do it at castles. Basically, they tell you that the sky is the limit on the audio, but on the video ones, they limit you. basically, is what I'm saying. So it's a little contradictory on how they do that sort of stuff. So, that's point number one, is how most people actually don't live in castles, or how it doesn't really work. It's unorthodox. Because, I mean, if you were to travel, let's say, yeah, like, you're in that shoe and you're like, well, I don't really want to live in a castle. I mean, I'm just going to be there for 2 days. It's not like I'm going to do very much. It's not like I need, I have, like, the actual legitimate reason to own a house. It's not like I'm going to be living there for a month. And if you are, you're going on a business trip for, like, a month or so, then I could understand renting out a castle, or a house or whatever. But then again, you also have to think, you do this in normal life, right? So this, it's insane, because I'm going to go ahead and go on to point number 2 for this one. So point number 2 is, you don't go on vacation or on a business trip to do what you do at home. You go on a vacation to relax. That's the whole point of a vacation, is to get away from your normal everyday routine and relax. This is why it ties to point number 1, is that's why people go in a hotel, so they can have room services, they can have luxury, pampering, have all the things that they normally wouldn't have in a daily life, unless they had maids and all that sort of stuff, which most people don't. So that's why it's a weird idea. It's like, oh yeah, do what you do in normal life, like cook and clean and all that for yourself. But that's not what people want to do when they go on a vacation. They don't want to go to just cook for themselves. They want to go so they can go and order $70 meals. Basically, you go so you can live up what you can't do normally. That's the whole idea of a vacation, is to relieve stress, a home away from home, a getaway. You don't want to do the same thing you do at home. That is the most stupidest reason to go on a vacation, so you can do exactly everything you do at home. So that's why it's a stupid idea. Because, I mean, think about it. If you're going on vacation, right? So you wake up early in the morning, and let's say you booked Airbnb. So you're sitting there, you're waking up in the morning, you wake up, you rise and shine in your nice new castle. Let's say you had a castle for some reason for 2 days. So you walk downstairs, your 3 flights of stairs, all the way down there, to go to your huge kitchen with only, let's say, 1 person in it, because you're by yourself on this vacation. So you go, and you look for food. And oh wait, it isn't a hotel, so guess what you gotta go do now? Buy groceries, because, like I said, you're living in a house that you're supposed to be doing everything you do in your normal life. That means they do not stock you with food. If they're going with that pattern, that means they're not supposed to have any food in there. You can't order anything. So now, instead of making breakfast like you had planned, you have to go to the store, which you don't know where it is, because you just got to this location. You don't know anything about Rome. So now you gotta go find some sort of convenience store to buy more food, or just go to McDonald's. That's like your only plan. Whereas someone who, rented a hotel, but booked a room in a hotel, they wake up, they just reach over to the left of them, or they go, they look and they call room service up to get them the food, or they go downstairs to the cafeteria to grab a bite to eat for free, because that's how hotels work. They already have pre-planned food, so why would you have to go and make your own? So, that's also that. And now we're going to move on to our third point, which is, I totally forgot. I didn't actually totally forget. I just have to re-jog my memory along the lines of what we were talking about. That happened to be, what were we talking about? I know we were talking about, like, cooking and all that sort of stuff. Is it more about the vacationing? How much do we get into the vacation part? I think it is, yeah. So third part is the actual vacationing aspect. Oh yeah, and how they market it to you so you don't look like a tourist. They in their video stuff, and I can't, unfortunately I'm not able to grab video footage of like the ads themselves and put them here to show you how they market it, because on Apple there isn't a screen recording app that actually works. It isn't a scam, unlike there is on Android, which makes for problems. But if I could, I'd put one right now to show you their actual marketing. They say things like, don't do Japan, or don't blah blah and blah blah blah. So they basically say, do not be a tourist, which is when you go to a foreign country, you want to be treated as a tourist. You want to be treated as something special, because that is how tourists are treated. They're special guests to the country, so that's why everyone treats you better. But if you look like you're the exact same, which I can guarantee you won't, if you're going to Japan and you are American, you're definitely not gonna, who is gonna believe that you're actually from Japan? No, no offense or anything. There are people who are born in Japan who are American, or, weren't born, technically. They wouldn't have been born in Japan, because they would have actually been Japanese. But there are people who moved over there, who do live there now, but, you going there and pretending to be not a tourist is not going to work, because first off, most people probably aren't going to know the native language of Japanese. Second off, most people don't actually care that much about looking like, especially if they're attire. Most people are not going to go and dress out as, like, they're not going to go and study Japanese culture, and, well, probably most people will study out culture, but they won't study out their clothing. They're not going to study out how they dress or how they act. Well, how they act maybe, but all clothing size, they're not going to do that. So most of the time, what you're going to be dressed in is you're going to be dressed in stuff that you brought from home, which is all going to look American. No matter where you live in Rome, like, go back to the Rome thing, no matter where you live in Rome, it doesn't matter, because you're not dressed in the same things that people in Rome would wear. Now, I mean, of course, these days, a lot of the clothing is mostly the same, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem, but I'm saying in general, a lot of people wear jerseys and that sort of stuff, and shorts, and normal stuff that you wouldn't find in those countries. Like, let's say they're wearing a jersey with something about the Cavaliers on the back. Most people in Rome don't know what the Cavaliers are. They don't know what the Cleveland Cavaliers are. Most people in Rome probably don't even know what the sport of basketball is. So that's why it's such a weird thing, because it's like they market you to not be a tourist, but in a country like Rome or Japan, you want to be a tourist. That's the whole point of going on vacation, so you are treated special, and people, act like you are special, and they show you all sorts of stuff, and you do all sorts of stuff. So let's say you've gotten past it, and they don't think you're a tourist. So now you got to do everything on your own, because you don't want to break that. For some reason, you don't want to break the facade that you're not a tourist, so you're not going to ask anyone where things are. You're going to try and find them on your own using GPS and all that. But it's such a weird thing to just base everything off of that whole aspect of just, you don't want to be a tourist. See, that's why it's so weird, because you're going to be looking weird. And in the video commercial, they have a bunch of Americans, or what I can hopefully assume is Americans, on Segways touring around France. And so I'm guessing what they're saying is, don't be like them, don't bring selfie sticks, don't bring Segways, all sorts of stupid stuff, so you look more natural, that sort of thing. But then again, I mean, like I said, who wants to be natural? You don't get all the fun stuff or the fun things out of being a normal person in France, especially if you weren't born in France, and you weren't raised in France, so you don't know what everything about France is, or Rome. So, like, especially if you don't know where the Vatican is, and you go and ask somebody where the Vatican is, well, now your whole tourist facade is broken. But again, you can use the GPS or whatever, but really at that point, I mean, you're still gonna look like a tourist, as you don't know what to do. And especially if people don't know how to drive on the, we drive this way, so if they're driving on this side of the road going forward, how are they supposed to know how to do that, Everything is reversed there, driving mechanics. So of course you're still going to look like a tourist unless you go and order Ubers to everywhere you go. And who's to say that they even, know or have Ubers? Maybe they have taxis, but I'm not too sure about Uber. Honestly, I wouldn't know, because I've never been to a foreign country. So yeah, I'm not done, but I do have to take well, actually, I think I may be done. So, if I'm not, we're going to do a part 2 on this whole rant thing, and if I can't think of anything more for Airbnb, and for my next rant, I will be doing more research. If I decide to do it on Airbnb again, I will be doing more research to figure out what it's about and everything about it. And if you guys want to do research as well, go ahead and do that. We're going to be going ahead and resuming the rant, if it's on Airbnb, on next Wednesday? What is today? Saturday? So, Monday. The rant will be continuing on Monday when I do research and all that and get all the facts from both sides, so I can come back and do a better rant on the company itself. This is all just from personal experience and assumptions about the company from their marketing. So, thank you guys so much for watching. So anyway, if you guys like this video, please go ahead and give it a like, press the like button, because who wouldn't? I mean, hopefully this was fun for you guys to watch and entertaining. If you did get any enjoyment out of it, you can subscribe. That would help me dearly, because, I'm kind of struggling. But anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow and Monday when I make new videos, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, and so on and so forth, because we're doing it daily. Oh yeah, real quick, I will be going down to Danville for Wednesday, and I don't know how long I'll be staying there until I come back, so expect a lot of live streaming and some more videos from there with my cousins and that sort of stuff. So anyway, like I said, thank you guys, and I will catch you all whenever the next video arises. So, or, outside of the video, who knows? Who knows?